year. Remember, only one game will get the golden filter, so let's get to it. From old school ballers to girls riding dragons, we've made it through 20 games so far, and we're still going strong. They're considered the most highly trained soldiers in the world, both online and offline. Socom II U.S. Navy SEALs gives you a realistic game where strategy and tactics are just as important as steady aim. The SEALs storm in at number 30.
Socom II really picked up where the first one left off. It improved a lot of things. It kept the same addictive online play that made the first one so popular.
I think that's really becoming like the Counter-Strike of the consoles. A lot of people are playing it. It broke the record for like most people on in 2 days.
Socom, that's a pretty badass game, you know? It's definitely one of those games that when you're done playing it, you really feel like you could invade a third world country and kill whoever you have to get the job done. It's a lot of fun.
The headset and what they're doing with that is really, really great. It's just a natural progression of things, and we kind of look at it and say, oh yeah, you know, we knew that was coming. But it's still, if you take a step back and look at the stuff, it's still fairly amazing.
It just improved everything the first one did, just kept it really tight, and it's just probably the best third-person action game on the PlayStation 2.
Chances are there wouldn't be a Socom game if it wasn't for Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six series. Raven Shield one-ups the SEALs and takes number 29. At number 28 comes Monolith's epic role-playing game, Xenosaga Episode 1. Next, we go from the high-tech future to the medieval past with Warcraft 3, The Frozen Throne, at number 27. Then it's off to that proverbial galaxy far, far away with Star Wars Jedi Knight Jedi Academy, which force jumps its way to number 26. At 25 is a game in which the Force isn't necessary to catch big air. It's SSX3.
SSX3 is by far the best snowboarding game this year. It just moves incredibly fast, and the gameplay is really cool. It has that cool SSX combination of racing and pulling off tricks.
I can't believe how much action they get on the screen at once without any slowdown ever.
SSX3 has you on one big mountain, and it kind of does feel like a real mountain because you can go off the beaten path.
They added like 3 new mountain areas. They have specific tracks like trick, you know, freestyle, and the races. Every map leads into every other map. The fact that the whole game is one giant mountain gives you a real sense of actual space.
The control feels very, very solid, and you are that person on that snowboard. But at the same time, you can do these crazy tricks and things like that.
You'll find yourself not putting that game down for 8 hours at a time. You know, just keep building, getting new tricks, and opening new maps. It's so addictive.
SSX3 has received critical praise and appears to be keeping EA big at the top of the extreme sports heap. But sadly, not every game can be a winner. Sometimes things just don't work out the way you'd like them to. Here's a look at some of the biggest bummers of 2003. Yeah, you're not going to get one of these. Sorry.
Jak 2 was a little disappointing. I really liked the first one. Second one, some of the missions were a little too tedious.
The new Final Fantasy, it didn't live up to the standards.
Xenosaga. Fell asleep one time playing it.
1080, I was really looking forward to that game. It made no forward advancement when compared to SSX3.
My biggest gaming disappointment of the year was the same disappointment I had in the movies, is The Matrix. I wasn't happy with the movies, wasn't happy with the game.
I think that the biggest disappointment for me this year was Mario Kart Double Dash. It's not a horrible game, it's a big letdown. It wasn't that it was bad, just that it wasn't great. The battle mode is really shallow and just not as fun.
It's still a fun game, but it loses out a little bit compared to its predecessor.
I was also disappointed in some of the other Nintendo titles, which is not something that usually happens. Nintendo's the one that comes with the big games always, and you can always count on Nintendo to deliver these great games, but this year they really kind of dropped the ball.
So some of us have had our hearts broken, but don't worry, we've got plenty more good games coming your way. Envelope, please. Envelope, please. Thank you. Thank you. Jak 2 is the eagerly awaited follow-up to the PS2 hit Jak and Daxter. This sequel takes on a darker, grittier tone as Jak embarks on a quest for revenge. It turns out our hero isn't a fan of being locked up and treated like a guinea pig for 2 years. Go figure. Jack 2 is number 24.
Jack 2 tried to do more of a Grand Theft Auto thing, tried to give more freedom in that world. They had the hub-like city.
This one incorporated a lot of kind of open-ended gameplay with a huge world. Dark Jack, a little bit more mature theme. There are different vehicles you can get into. Dark Jack, the fact that Jack talked was kind of a big deal.
Let's do it.
I like how they mix kind of elements of, there's a little bit of MGS2 kind of stealth action, and there's, GTA kind of action.
Jack 2, that's just fun. How they made it kind of GTA-ish, kind of platformer, kind of like, all this stuff mixed into one. How they gave Jack a personality in this game was better. How he was kind of dark. The elements in that game were just great. Like little mini games they had when you had to race these little rocket thingies. It's really great.
Let's keep this conga line moving. Scaring things up at number 23 is the latest in Konami's premier survival horror series, Silent Hill 3. Next, we go from undead zombies and creepy crawlers to street fighters and superheroes with Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Looks like you just couldn't say no to pitting Ken against Wolverine as a dragon uppercuts its way to number 22. The punching and kicking continues with a different kind of superhero. Actually, it's the story of an average Joe turned mask and cape-wearing stud. Beautiful Joe comes in at number 21.
Joe is incredible. It's just such a great game. It's got a great style to it. It just controls like a dream. He has these different powers where you can speed up and slow down time. That affects everything from, there's a fan blade and you speed up time, the fan blade spins faster, which will raise the platform. It's just a great playing game, like a really solid, fun, awesome game.
Beautiful Joe is definitely the most stylish game this year. It had a really cool cel-shaded 2D look, so it was a really awesome mix of old and new. It just was a beautiful thing that totally worked.
Games like this, I hope that they will continue to be made because they just show a playful side of gaming. I don't think it's a personality that can really exist outside of our medium.
Now that's my kind of superhero. With only 20 more games left on our list, the best is yet to come. Can Max Payne kick sand in the faces of some beach volleyball girls? And will Madden make it to the end zone, or will it have to punt? And you won't want to miss our first ever Filter Fashion recap. Not only that, but you'll get a peek at some of my less than perfect moments from the past year. Wait, no one told me about this.